Hello everyone and welcome to QuickSaveTV. I hope you had a great day, and if you didn't, just forget about all this stuff because we're gonna talk about stuff that most of the people like, the weaponry. Now, this is Jagged Alliance back in action demo, and everything I will talk about specifically applies to this demo 100% and should be 9 out of 10 times applied to the final game. However, I cannot be sure for that because I don't know which things they additionally put or didn't put or removed, so you have to understand that. Now, let's talk about weaponry. Now, I have accumulated some of the stuff here I have been able to obtain through demo. Now, you have to keep in mind that you cannot obtain... you can, but the chances are slim that you will be able to obtain all the possible guns during one run of the demo. Because of the way the drops work, they're quite randomized. Every time you're going to start the mission, you might end up with different weaponry. Now, let me just show you what I got this time. I have Glock 17, MP5K, NF Fall knife, such as combat knife in Jagged Alliance 2, SPAS 15 or SPAS 15 like I call it, M870, Dragunov sniper rifle, Tech 9, Desert Eagle, Steyr AUG I assume, SKS, M79 and M14. Now, additionally, on the previous playthrough I was able to find Type 83, Type 64, 63, 75, I don't remember how it's called, the Chinese assault rifle, and the AK-47. So these weapons are also in the game, but during this specific playthrough I wasn't able to find them. Again, as I said, if you will play the demo yourself, you might or might not find the same items, might find different items. Now, in more specifics, what are the guns in the game? The guns is basically what you're going to use to destroy the enemies, and it's the most important part, one of the most important part of the gear of your soldiers, of your mercenaries. Now, let's just go ahead and take several guns of similar type. Let's take MP5K and Tech 9 and determine which one is better and in what sense. Now, we have MP5K. This German submachine gun is the must-have weapon for die-hard terrorists and 2-bit South American drug lords. As you can see, there's a little bit of description over there, which is actually serves no purpose for you, so don't really focus on it. And Tech 9, which is the Tech 9 is the cheap weapon with a substandard design. It can be found anywhere in the United States as it was widely manufactured and sold on the civilian market. Now look. They have, first of all, they have different characteristics. Let's discuss the characteristics in detail and then compare them. Weight determines how heavy the weapon is, how much of the load weight of your mercenary it will take. The lighter the weapon is, the better it is, generally, because most of the mercenaries, unlike Magic right here with his gigantic strength attributes, will not possess enough strength to carry a lot of big guns with them. Like, for example, if you take a MP5K, in this case, it weighs just 3 kilos, right? 2.78 kilos. And the Tech 9 weighs 1.23 kilos. Very, very light machine guns. You can see that, right? But if you take light machine gun, it can take up to 11 kilograms easily, like such as MG4 will be like 11 kilograms, provided it is in a game. I'm just speculating. Now, you have to understand that not only your weapon will be carried by your mercenaries in case of Magic, because he is a technician, because he's a good mechanic and a good marksman, he will probably carry at least one gun with him, one technical kit, one picklocking, how do you call it, the picklock set. Additionally, he might carry several grenades. Additionally, he might carry some other things and and so on. Perhaps even some medical equipment. You have to understand that the less weight is better for you. Now, durability determines how much durability a weapon currently has and how much is the total. The max total durability is in quotas right here. Or I think you call them quotas. You see 95.00 out of 95. Now you can see that MP5K is much more sturdy than the Tech 9. Now, ammo type serves really no purpose, but for you to know, just for you to know what kind of ammunition it uses. Range determines how far the weapon can shoot, how much is the effective range of firing this particular weapon. Then accuracy shows how accurate the weapon is. Rate of fire shows how fast can weapon spit out the bullets. However, you have to understand that in some specific cases the weapon will still have different firing speed. Now, rate of fire determines how fast your mercenary can keep shooting after first shot. Like, for example, weaponry with really fast RPM, rounds per minute, like MP5K or Tech 9 will be able to spit bullets almost non-stop, right? Gigantic barrage of thrown at the enemy, whereas the sniper rifles such as Dragunov, or even better the sniper rifles with bolt action, will not allow you to fire as fast. So that basically means that if you have an automatic assault rifle or a machine pistol, you can much more indiscriminately how do you call it, spit out ammunition in enemy torso and enemy legs, whatever, not in the head. Whereas with a much slower firing weapon, you would prefer to kill enemy in one shot, or at least deal severe damage. Now, the burst mode allows us to see how much bullets you will be able to fire if you fire in a burst mode. Each of the weapons have a burst mode, and as Jagged Alliance back in action is descendant of Jagged Alliance 2, the burst mode basically is alternative to the single bullet mode. You have to understand that when you fire burst, in burst mode, you have to be, your mercenary has to be skilled in marksmanship, right? Or else you will probably miss all of your fired rounds. But again, the risk will pay off if most of your rounds will hit the target. Like, if I spit out 5 bullets at the enemy in a close range, I might tear him apart if each of the bullets hits the target, because 5 is much more than 1, right? Obviously. Now, fine. And the clip size shows you how much you have, how much ammunition you have in your clip. The higher is better, right? So it allows you not to reload as often. Now, again, weight, the lower is better. Durability, the higher is better. Ammo type, the bigger the bullet is better. But if you if you don't really follow the bullet types, you will be able to find out in just a moment. Now, range, the higher is better. Damage, the higher is better. Accuracy, the higher is better. Rate of fire, higher is better. Burst mode, the higher is better. Again, except for specific cases if you want really small burst modes. The lower the burst, the more chances that it's going to actually hit the target. The higher the burst, the more bullets you fire, but lower chances to hit the target. The clip size, the higher is better. Now, the damage is obvious. I'm not going to talk a lot about it. Now, let's just go ahead and select some of them. Just demonstrate you some of the ammo types in the game. Now, I have accumulated again several ammo types. I am not completely positive if 66mm missiles is going to be used somewhere, but it looks like an ammunition, so I have it here. Now, this is also some of the ammunition we'll not be able to use in this particular tutorial, but the point is that there's probably gonna be a Browning machine gun in the game, excuse me, and probably the sniper rifle M82 speculating from the name. Now, again, let's just go ahead and pick up the 9mm Parabellum. As you can see, the ammo is displayed not like, unlike in Jagged Alliance 2 or in some other tactical games, it's not displayed in a specific magazine for MP5K or Tech 9. Notice how they have different magazines. For example, MP5K magazine and Tech 9 magazines are not compatible. At least it looks like this, right? They are using same ammo type, but they probably will not fit one another. Like Tech 9's magazine will not fit because of the different shape, different form. Now you have to understand that the ammo, how it looks, it just shows you the pistol magazines. But you have to remember that it's not really important, as the ammo is, you don't need to keep ammo in magazines. Okay, that's the bottom line. You just keep the ammo, and that's it. The mercenary will automatically insert it in the weapon as a magazine, right? So now, okay, let's just go ahead and reload. We're gonna reload like this. As you can see, it's more or less displayed. I mean, the animation is quite general, but it's not really important. Now we're gonna go ahead and check the attachments. We have 2 attachments I was able to find in the demo. That's a silencer for pistols and 4x telescopic sight. Basically, a silencer for pistol means that for most of the submachine guns and for most of the pistols, we're gonna attach it to it, and that's what you're gonna see now. Notice how now we have attached silencer in our MP5K. Now, whenever we fire from it, we will make dramatically less noise, and it will not be as easy for enemies to find out where the magic is actually firing from. Now you have to remember, it doesn't make you absolutely silent, as enemies will still be able to hear your silencer even if you fire with silencer, so be careful, be wary of that. Now, the telescopic sight is cannot be attached in this case for MP5K, but the idea is telescopic sight dramatically improves the accuracy. I assume this dramatically improves accuracy and allows you to hit targets from much higher range. Now we take Dragunov sniper rifle and attach telescopic sight to it. As you can see, it's again displayed. Not that it's very realistic, but okay, it's fine. That's how it works. Perfect. Now that we talked about it, let's talk a little bit about ammo penetration. Now, one important characteristic that's displayed right away in each of the ammo types is the armor piercing. What is armor piercing? It's the most damn important characteristic in the entire game. Now, how do we hit the target? Let's say there's an enemy. He wears armor all over the place, right? This armor reduces the damage you deal with each and every single one of your weapons. So basically, if you have high penetration on your weaponry, you will be able to penetrate through this armor and deal your damage. If you have low penetration, like in case of 9mm Parabellum, you will not be able to penetrate the ammo. However, usually ammo with low armor piercing are usually more effective against unarmored targets, such as 12 gauge for the shotgun is extremely devastatingly effective in close range against enemy targets. However, once they wear any type of armor, it becomes suddenly very useless. It still deals a lot of damage, but much less. Now, the higher this percentage of armor piercing is, the better it is for you. Now, let's check it out. Magnum has 250, 545 100, 183 for 45 caliber, 762 Russian ones 125, American ones is 142. .50 is 500. Gigantic armor penetration. So yeah, that's the idea. The higher your armor penetration is, the better for you. I'll just go ahead and drop this stuff here because we don't need it anymore. Yeah. So that would be it for the overview of the weaponry in Jagged Alliance Back in Action demo. Now, as I said, I expect this weaponry, all of this weaponry, to be in the game, but this is made on the demo version. So don't get really frustrated if some of these weapons will not make it to the game, or don't be frustrated, don't be surprised, well actually be surprised because it's fun, if you find additional and weapons you didn't see in this tutorial. I thank you very much for watching, I really hope you enjoy it. Go ahead, leave your comments, subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed the video and would like to see more, and just have a great day. I hope I made, your day a little bit better, and yeah, just good luck in whatever you do, and bye bye.